Hello, hello. It is August 2nd, and today we do our monthly bookkeeping. So, first Wednesday of every month is always dedicated to making sure that last month's bookkeeping is updated. I have been working on mine this morning, and so mine's up to date so that I can be here with you guys and have a clean slate and be ready to go to help you all with your bookkeeping. So whether or not you use my workbook, I'm here to help you get your bookkeeping done. If you have questions, you can either jump on the Zoom or you can ask them in the chat. I'm getting ready to pull that up right now so that I can see who is watching from YouTube and any questions that you might see. So I'm going to do that right quick. Find the okay. So now that I don't have to look at myself on a delay and I can see the chat. Oh, I guess I need to pull up. I'll do that on my phone. I will pull up Facebook on my phone and see if, and I'll keep an eye on the chat and comments in there. Let me use my self-service. So yesterday I noticed that I was having a little bit of lagging issues trying to keep up with the different chats. So I ended up having to go solely with the with my cell phone service, and I didn't get a chance to look at what was going on Facebook, which thankfully there wasn't. So a little bit of housekeeping while we are waiting to see if anyone has any questions. I will throw the link to the Zoom room into the YouTube chat. If anybody wants to hop on in here, you can keep that link. It is the same every week. It is also the same link to having a consult with me. There is no password. I have to admit you into the room. So nobody will accidentally be able to join us if you are having a private consultation, and I just have a little bit more control over the room and who's in here. So hopefully that will help you guys make sure that you're able to find the room and join me. So every Tuesday at noon, and then every Wednesday at noon, we do this live on YouTube. So Tuesdays, it's with myself and Renee, and we just talk about anything that is going to lift you up as a person and in your business. So it's not strictly about anything, but we are all about creating revenue streams and talking about what tools that we use to create those revenue streams, what we're doing for our own revenue streams, different books that we utilize, tips and tricks, anything that we can come up with that might help you all do better in life and in business. So we have a couple people watching. Let me know who's here. And if, like I said, if anybody wants to jump in here, feel free. If you are just here to get your bookkeeping done, absolutely perfect. Just let me know you're here. Let me know that you're working on your bookkeeping, and let me know when you get done. If you are using my workbook, If you don't mind, let me know that too, so that I can just get an idea who's here with the workbook. Hi, Max. Welcome. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. So, get the bookkeeping done, because that is the most important part of this call today. This is your appointment time, this non-negotiable time to get your bookkeeping done. So mute me. If you want to hear what I have to say, come back later and listen. But just mute me, get that bookkeeping done. If you have any questions, pop them into the chat, pop in here and ask them. Whatever works best for you, I am open to. Hey, Marco, glad to have you back. I've seen some of the posts that you've done on YouTube, but until somebody starts to work with me on Spanish, then I don't understand all of it. So Marco asks, do we need to pay our taxes quarterly if we are making profit now, or does it matter? All right, so here is my take on quarterly taxes. I think you should absolutely keep up with where you are in your business at all times, and you should be putting away some money. 20-25% is just a good number, and you put that into some type of an account that you have access to, but you're not going to touch. And we go through the year, and because businesses fluctuate, right? So we have ups and downs, and we don't know for sure where we are going to land in the end, especially with reselling. Most of us have dealt with somewhat of a summer slowdown with eBay, and there have been, other avenues that have dealt with slower sales. People spend less time online, especially if your business is mainly online. So put that money into something like a savings account, a CD, whatever it is. You just need to be able to get it out of that account by the end of the year. So if it's a CD, then keep track of what the length of time is for that CD, so that by December 31st, you have no penalty access to that money. Then what we're going to do is, between January 1st and January 15th, we're going to take a quick look at your current state of finances for your business and do a quick estimate of what you may owe on your taxes. And at that time, if it looks like you are going to owe more than $1,000, we're going to make a payment into the IRS and into the state for those taxes, to reduce it below $1,000. So long as your what you owe is below $1,000, you won't have a penalty for non-payment. So I would much rather see you all have access to that money during the year and be able to follow it with what is in your business. And if you're using the workbook, what you can do is look at the little green box, and whatever the net is of that, think about what your family situation is. These things have to be taken into account. However, if you just want to do something really easy, then do, say, 20% of whatever the net is at that line. So long as all of your bookkeeping is in, all of your mileage is in, then 20% of that net number into a savings account, not into the IRS, into a savings account, should keep you covered, because there is a lot of other things that will come off that is not included in that number. So you should have more than enough money left over after we get your taxes completed. Okay. Marco, I would love that. You have no idea how much I want to learn Spanish, but when I was working and years and years ago, and I was working with a lot of Hispanic people, I picked up the language fairly well. I mean, I could conversate. And then I went to college and took an actual Spanish class, and everything that I've learned, everything that I had learned up to that point completely went out the window. So the only thing I can do now is pretty much say my alphabet, say some of the numbers. I can, say hi and bye and ask you where the bathroom is, but that's about it. So yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to learn some Spanish. That would be perfect. So we have a couple other people watching. Let me know if you are getting your bookkeeping done. Let me know if you have any questions. But Marco, did I answer your question about the taxes? Do you feel comfortable with that now? I'll try and do this and see if I can. Read the chat and look like I'm looking at you guys too. So. I'll do that on myself. Oops. So, all right. So, great. Glad to hear it. Yeah, the people in the group are probably not following me. So not everybody does. There's a lot of people in the group that do, and then there's a lot of newer people, and I'm not as active in the group as I used to be. So there's a bunch of newer people that that don't really know who I am, or maybe they haven't caught up on any of the accounting calls yet. So my job, I feel, is to make sure that you guys understand best practices, that I help you stay accountable, that I give you as many tools as I possibly can to help you keep as much money in your pocket as we can, as we can manage. We don't want to pay into taxes any more than we absolutely have to, and find ways that we can reduce your tax bill and hopefully create more revenue for you. So like right now, I'm doing a lot of research on other passive income streams. And hopefully some of those will, pay off and be able to help you move some of the income that you're making now into some other income streams that maybe they're not, they won't take up as much of your time, but you can move that and move some of the income into these other income streams, And that creates a tax deduction for this other business. So it will reduce your taxes, and at some point you will also be getting more revenue in. And then we'll look for something else that we can add to your repertoire. So Jason, welcome. Glad to have you. Do you have any specific questions for me today?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Not really. I'm just listening.
Okay.
I did have a few questions, or I had something with the spreadsheet, but I forgot. If I could remember, I'll ask you.
Okay, no problem. Are you getting along fine with the spreadsheet otherwise, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's really easy.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want to hear.
I mean, so much better than QuickBooks. I mean, even though I knew a little bit about bookworking, it's a lot better.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear you say that. That was my goal, and I use it myself. So, for anybody that's using the workbook, like I just go to my bank account and I pull up for the last month and I download my transactions, and all I download is in my bank. It gives me the option to download just the transactions that are debited. So I pick just those transactions, I download that, and then I can copy and paste the date and the who it went to and the amount, and paste them right over into my sheet. And then all I have to do is go back and pick the category. So it's made it even faster for me than it was before. Dawn, hi, welcome. All right, so let's see.
It was about the eBay tracking again.
Okay.
Let's see if I could. I'm on the spreadsheet. Let's see if I could find it. Yeah. No, that's not it. Hold on one second. You could go ahead. When I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay. I pulled it up, so whenever you have a question, I can just share my screen and we can go over it. But in the meantime, I am just chatting to fill space. So, let me put this out there right quick. I don't know who was in the call yesterday, but I added another possible revenue stream to my repertoire, to my growing business. And what it is it helps people save money. So if you are in need of health insurance, I have an option that's not, it's very like health insurance, but it's super simple to find out whether what the price would be for you. I just need like the birth date of the oldest member, or the oldest person in the house that would be on the policy, and how many people would be on the policy. And then I can give you a really good idea of what it would cost you. Then there's electric and gas savings. It's not in every state. It's a lot of, mostly on the East Coast, Texas and California. But if you're interested, let me know. Then I have some phone savings, some cell phone savings. And I looked at mine. I'm going to be switching over, and I can save $1,500 a year on for my cell phone, which not just mine. So me and there's 3 other people. It's my husband, my mother-in-law, my stepson and myself. Did I say that? My husband? Yeah, 4. There's 4 of us on the cell phone, and it's going to give me the ability to save, like I said, about a little over $1,500 a year. So, I mean, that's a little better than $100 a month, which is pretty significant in my book. What else? There's some, let's see. Anyway, those are the biggest ones that oh, there's internet for some places. There's a bunch of different stuff. So there's some travel stuff, and you can if you are looking for another revenue stream and you might want to add this to your repertoire, then just let me know, and we can talk to you about what kind of income that you could possibly make with that, what kind of bonuses and things like that. So there's no quotas, which is I'm not into quotas. Just let me talk to people when I talk to people, and if they're interested, then that's great. They can tell me that they're interested. I am not a pushy salesperson. I don't want to be. I will never be. It's just like, here's what I have to offer. If you see anything that you like, then just let me know. And that's basically why I like reselling. It's just, I get to put this stuff up here, and it's like, all right, here's what I have to offer. If you like anything, then let me know. And it's worked out pretty good for me. Tech talks about all you need to do is get consistent for a couple of weeks and things will start happening again. And I have to agree wholeheartedly. I kind of fell off the wagon after tax season and was trying to dump a bunch of stuff with that I just didn't want in my store anymore. And in dumping and in fixing listings and things like that, I got inconsistent about listing. And the end of June, in fact, I just went back and looked through my calendar. The end of June, I started listing again consistently. And my sales for July were double what they were in June. And they are continuing to, I see them going up already, and we're just 2 days into August. So I am super pumped about where August is going. I am very slowly increasing my listings. I started back the last week of June. I was doing 5. I did that for 2 weeks. Then I went to 6. I am actually still at 6. But what I'm doing now is, if more than 6 sell, then that's what I will list. So I had 4 sales yesterday. I'm minimum 6, but I had 4 sales yesterday and then 3 more sales this morning. So I ended up shipping 7. So whatever I ship is what I list. So I listed 7 today. And talk about niche. Talk about how important having a niche is, because I basically list one item with different attributes. I did 7 items in less than 15 minutes this morning. That's just the listing part. But I was like, why can't I just do this every day? I mean, I really don't want to list more than 15 a day anyway. So that's pretty, I could take all of my pictures on Monday, which is what I generally do anyway. I take all of my pictures on Monday and then just throw up a few listings every day. So I've got no excuses anymore. The faster I get at this, the less excuses I have about not getting my listings up. Hey Max, welcome to the Zoom side. So Dawn, is your bookkeeping up to date? Are you good with July?
No, I have to finish July yet, but I just have to finish the last few days of mileage tracking and put in a few goodwill slips.
Perfect.
Besides that, that should be done. I'm keeping up with it. I'm not going to do it like last year.
That's awesome. So happy to hear that. Max, you got something? All right, let's see. What else can we talk about?
All right.
Okay, Jason.
I'm back. Let's see. It was under eBay shipping. If you under the number tracking,
Mhm.
the buyer paid. How do you find that shipping on eBay?
Okay, so if you go to your eBay performance, your sales, your blah, 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 sales or performance sales tab on eBay.
Okay.
And let me just pull that up.
Because I have my eBay, like what it costs me to ship, but I charge a little bit more. So there's a little bit difference.
Right, exactly. And this is where you can see the difference. Now, it doesn't mean that the fees and stuff aren't figured into this little section, but to me, that's just overkill. All I want to know is that what I'm charging is more on average than what I'm paying.
Right. Yep.
So if you go to the performance sales tab,
Okay.
and then you scroll down, and where it says total sales, and it says shipping and handling.
Let's see. Okay.
It's right next to
Is
the
it-
graph.
Okay. Let's see. You might have to share your screen. Is it like at the top of the page, like where you scroll down just a little bit, or it's kind
No,
of
okay, so you're gonna scroll down about 2/3 of the way. Let's see. Yeah, about halfway down the page.
Right. Yeah. It says total sales, promoted
Yep.
listings, offer.
Then it says you're right. And so right below that, it shows you the amount of total sales. Then it shows you a percentage, item sales, shipping and handling.
Okay. So that would be the total
That's what the
shipping.
buyer paid.
All right. Yeah. That's a lot easier. I was going to pull up like a little spreadsheet. I was going to like reports and then pull up a spreadsheet and then add it that way. I got a different number. Huh.
So if you have done any refunds, if you have done any all the labels are included in here. So your shipping and handling is what the buyer paid. That's under the total sales. Now, if you look just a little bit lower in the next section down, it shows selling costs. And to the right, it says selling costs, eBay fees, shipping labels.
Yeah.
That's what you paid.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I missed it, but I searched forever and I couldn't find it. So, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So everything is, what happened to, oh, there she is. I was like, I admitted her. Where did she go? So everything that is for the eBay performance tab, eBay sales tab, what the heck do I call it? That's sad. eBay number tracking, everything that's on the eBay number tracking page, other than your outside sales and the fact that you have to, track how many you listed yourself, everything else is on this page. You can find all of it in right here.
Okay. And even the total listings, that's the total listings you have in your eBay store. at that time?
Yeah, the way I do it is, it's just the total listings that, are in my store at that, at the end of the month.
At the
So
end of the- Right.
in my calendar that I have right in front of me, every morning I get up and I write, okay, I have X number of listings, and then I do, plus, and then this is how many I listed. And then here recently I started how many I shipped. And I've just got this weird thing about keeping track of my feedback too. So I write how many feedback is that I have on that day. So I do that every day. Maybe if I'm not working, then like Sundays generally don't get written down, but the rest of the time does. And I generally know what I'm going to list on Sunday, so I can just add that in on my calendar. That way I can always go back and count how many I actually listed for the month versus what my goal was. So I'm working on getting back to 10 listings a day, but I don't want a huge store. So I'm doing it very slowly so that I'm not just throwing a bunch of stuff into my store. I'm right now, I'm like taking all the offers, almost pretty much all the offers. Because I just like, and especially on stuff that I don't want to sell anymore. Just,
Yeah.
if it's even remotely profitable, out the door. Get that money back in so that I can redeploy it into more inventory.
Okay. And the listings, when you start a new year, does your inventory goes back to zero, or you keep on adding?
So with taxes and with our bookkeeping, when we get the new year, everything starts back over at zero, because when we actually do our taxes, all of the inventory that we purchased in the prior year is being expensed. So our cost of goods goes back to zero. Our obviously not our total listings, right? But everything that we are spending money on goes back to zero, and we start over from scratch.
Okay, so all the number tracking, all that goes back to zero, and basically, so for the first month of January for your listed items, what you would put whatever's in your store.
For the first month of January, for listed, it's whatever you list. For total listings, it's whatever's in your store.
Okay. All right, gotcha.
However, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the eBay number tracking tab, you'll see where the totals are. And when I put the new one out in January, it'll have 2024 added to it. So right now it's got 2021, 2022, and 2023. 2023 automatically calculates. And then you can just copy and paste those numbers over into your brand new spreadsheet so that you can compare year over year over year. That's the whole point of this particular page, this tab, is to be able to compare year over year, week over week, month over month, year over year, to see that you are doing the proper things that will help you grow your business and be able to keep up with all of that.
All right. Yeah, that's about it until I can find anything else, but everything is pretty much easy.
Awesome. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. Vianney, hi, how are you? been a while. All right. Oh, let me pull my.
I have some untax related questions for you.
Okay, Max.
So I was trying to share um a a link for the live. I don't know quite how to do that. So the best I did was take the share thing from your channel and send it. But
Sure.
is there a way to send a link to the live event?
So if you share from the YouTube page, it should share the call that we're currently in.
But what about when it's not in it? Because I was trying to share it before I came over here.
Oh, okay. So you mean before a call starts?
Yeah, I was trying to share it so the person could just link right to the thing because it was kind of computer illiterate.
That is an excellent question. So actually, after I just purchased Restream, like the subscription to Restream, which is where how I'm streaming to multiple platforms now from Zoom. So I'm actually going to talk with them after this call to see if there is a way that I can schedule the live in YouTube and then match them up, because right now I don't know how to do that. Before I
that'd be great.
used to be able to schedule the live, but I don't know that I can do that with this new way of doing things. And paying for Restream is a lot less expensive than paying for StreamYard, which was what I was using before. And I can share up to 5 different places. So I'm super happy about, being able to share multiple places. I can actually see with StreamYard, for what I was paying, I could only stream to 2 places. And I could only add 2 accounts. So it didn't even matter where I was streaming to or where I wanted to stream to. I could only have 2 accounts in there at one time. This one, I can add as many accounts as I want to, but I can only utilize 5 at a time for what I'm paying. So anyway, I am really liking the service so far. And they've been very, very helpful. So I'm just going to reach out to them after this call, because I have the same question as how can I, facilitate people being able to find it easier.
That'd be a nice talk too after you get the answers about the 2 different ones for the other Tuesday show.
Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, I'm happy to share anything that will be beneficial to you all. Hey,
Yeah, because
Carl.
I didn't even know of an alternative until you just said that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Everybody uses StreamYard, and I was a little disappointed with StreamYard. I mean, I liked it. It just didn't do everything that I needed it to do, especially after Renee and I started doing the live together. I wanted to be able to, share to her page, my page, and I mean, her YouTube and my YouTube. And then a couple weeks ago, I started streaming my office hours call to my Facebook page. And then Restream offered me yesterday a further discount. And I was just like, okay, I guess I need to go ahead and bite the bullet and do this. So now I'm able to stream to, like I said, 5 places. So I'm streaming today. I'm streaming to my YouTube, my personal Facebook, and my business Facebook page. This is exciting. I love it how many people are coming into Zoom. Hi, Carl. Hi, Todd.
Hey, how are you doing today? Yeah, this is Max's doing. Max, well, first of all, Max put it in the room. We were talking with a young lady who joined the group last night, and she's been reselling for 3 months, and I gave her some grandfatherly advice about the first thing she needs to do is get her bookkeeping together before she gets too involved in this, because she has visions of grandeur. And if you have visions of grandeur and you don't take care of your accounting first, you will have visions through bars. So anyway, so hopefully you'll be hearing from her. And but then Max put this link in the chat room, and then I just happened to be on YouTube and I saw you there, so I clicked on Max's link, but I noticed I couldn't tell how many participants there were off the, it wasn't like a real Zoom room off Facebook.
No,
I
right.
could see you and one other participant. I could see Dawn's picture on you and Dawn, but that was it, and no way to expand it. So then I went and I copied the number down, and here I am. But then I had 2 shows going at once, and one had a delay, and I certainly didn't want to turn on my unmute button, or else it would have been a 3-way call. So anyway, yeah, good. Always good to hear you spreading the news, and we're out there looking for more business for you.
Oh, well, I certainly appreciate that. Yeah, I'm actually working very hard to understand marketing right now. I am very illiterate where this particular topic is concerned. I don't know how else to put it, but I've joined a bunch of groups and I'm working really hard to get educated so that I can not only help myself, but help all of you and help hopefully more people. It's been a real interesting journey so far.
I think the one thing the young lady that joined the group today was trying to get every question in the world answered in one day, and how impossible that is, and just to learn what you can in each group, and things like this that you're doing on your own, and so good for you.
Thank you so much. I want to make sure that
So that was one of the links I dropped. So Kyle didn't have a problem finding it, even though it
Right.
wasn't a link to the live.
Yeah, the only problem I had, Max, is after I clicked your link, I did realize that I was on Facebook and not in an actual Zoom call. And so then when I went into the actual Zoom call, like I said to Cheryl just now, I had 2 shows going at one time. And they were all, unfortunately, they were all on the same link. So when I would get rid of one show, I'd get rid of the wrong show. So Yeah, but thank you for posting that this morning. I appreciate that.
Okay, so the Zoom call that you're in right now, if you guys go ahead and if you save this number, it should be in your drop down. Then every Wednesday, it should like say Cheryl Miller's accounting room or something like that. Every Tuesday at noon and every Wednesday at noon, you guys can just come here directly and you don't have to, you'll already have the number, you already have the location. So if you add that to your account, I'm working on figuring out a way to make a different graphic to kind of say, okay, here's my stuff. Here's all my stuff. That I can just post to kind of remind everybody. I know that it gets cumbersome sometimes with calendars and things like that. And we hit, don't, go away, and then we forget.
So your thoughts on having this show besides the one you do for Reseller Nirvana is to reach more different outside people than just a group. Is that the intent of this group?
Partially, but more so it was because I felt like doing a 3-hour call in their group was too much. And
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to provide office hours because not everybody has stayed in the group that originally found me in the group.
Yeah.
So so this, like today, the first Wednesday of the month is my accountability call for everybody to get their bookkeeping done. So it's like I set the time and the date and you guys get your stuff together. Then the other 4 Wednesdays, the rest of the Wednesdays in the month will be more like office hours. So if anybody has questions or wants to chat about business or taxes or anything like that, I am available to do that each week during those hours. Occasionally, like this month, next week, I won't be doing this on Wednesday. I'll be doing this following the live with Renee. I'll be doing it following that call next Tuesday, because I'm not able to do it on the Wednesday. But generally speaking, I make sure that it's only going to be on Wednesdays so that the dates are always the same and people know exactly when to show up. But I've had clients that I got from, other places than the group all along. So yeah, I needed to be able to reach them as well, because they don't get to see me in the group. They don't get that time in the group.
Okay, good for you. And hopefully your 3 children are taking a nap right now.
They are.
Yeah. We don't want to disturb them.
Oh my goodness. Todd, what's up?
Hey, Cheryl. So I got a tax question for you. So we are going to be taking an RV trip next week. It'll be about 500 miles round trip. And I'm wondering how much of that I might be able to write off if I do some thrifting along the way.
All of it.
So mileage plus the campground fees, because we're
Yes.
the state park fees. So
Yes. And meals.
what? Say that again.
And meals.
Oh, and meals. Wow. Didn't think about that part.
Now you
Okay,
only get 50% of the meals.
okay,
We're actually getting ready to do the same thing. And yeah, probably close to the same amount of miles. So anytime that you are taking a trip, and even if part of it is meant to be vacation, but you are working along the trip, then you can take all of the miles to and from, regardless of how much time you spend working at your end destination. You can take all of the miles to and from, and you can take all of the meals to and from for the people that work in the business. Now the meals are going to be at 50%, not 100. Oh, and you can take all of the lodging. So for example, if you took, let's say we were going to take a trip, and it was going to be a week out to get to where our end destination was. And when we get there, we're going to do work, whatever that work is. We don't say when we get there, we're going to stay for, 2 or 3 days. While we're there, maybe we're only actually going to work one of those days. So we can take all the miles to get there. We can take all the miles to get back. We can take all of the lodging to get there. And if it's campground fees, then it's campground fees. It's still our lodging. It's still the way we do our lodging, right? So all of our lodging there and all of our lodging back. All of the people that are in the business, all of their meals there and all of their meals back. And I think Carl woke up one of my kids. So let's see. Oh, when we get there, while we were there, we're only working one day. So we're there for 3 days. We're only working one. So we can take the lodging and the meals for the day that we're working. We can't take the lodging and the meals for the other 2 that we're not.
oh,
I was trying to do enough of an example that you could kind of get the whole thing. So if you work every day that you're there, at least some part of every day that you're there, and I don't mean like listing, because
right,
listing we can technically do from anywhere. So it's not a reason to be there to work, right? But like if you're a reseller, then sourcing would be a viable option. If you have a YouTube channel, then maybe you are recording being there and part of travel or camping or sightseeing or whatever. So you could be doing those things each day if you had something other than just eBay. So you wouldn't have to be sourcing, which is what I'm able to do. And your YouTube channel, for example, or your blog, for example, doesn't need to be monetized in the beginning in order to take those times, because it takes time to build it. So we would just include it all under one business in the meantime and just take all the deductions.
do you have to do anything to document, like if I'm building a YouTube channel? I mean, I don't really have any documentation per se, I mean.
Nope.
So, okay. Cool.
It's driving me nuts. Joey, shut up. Joseph, Giovanni, Jojo, knock it off. Yes, I call him all the things. whatever Joe thing comes out of my mouth at the time. He gets called all the Joes. So yeah, so for example, I mean, I've got 2 YouTube channels and I'm in the process of building the other one. But I already have a bunch of footage and stuff to put up. But I'm still learning to do that. Now, because the first year I was building this channel, I was able to do things. I was sourcing when I would go. Now when I go, it's more about getting footage and stuff for the other channel. And I just recently joined a group to help learn about blogging. So I'm going to use that information that I learned not only to create a blog for my accounting stuff, but also for my travel and my puppy and my stack stuff and my camping stuff. So it's all gonna work together so that it's my life. It's between the accounting and I'm trying to make everything completely mobile. So that's like my goal. So everything is under one business header. I'm not separating anything out. And because of that, it's the bookkeeping is super easy and the expenses is super easy. And I'm hoping that I'm giving you guys some ideas about, ooh, I could do this and I could do that and I could move money over here. It's all about getting as much of your personal expenses, things that you want to do, moved into your businesses as absolutely possible.
Yeah, I'm going to be retiring in March, so I'm trying to think of all these little things like this I can come up with. So all of your tips are super helpful.
Awesome. So I have to know where you guys are going.
Bandon, Oregon.
Bandon, Oregon. Okay.
On the southern Oregon coast, almost to California.
Wow, nice. That's got to be pretty.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. A gorgeous part of the coast. So, my favorite part of the Oregon coast. We live in Portland.
We went out to Seattle in 2019 and we drove across country and went to Oregon. We stayed in Oregon. The first night we got into Oregon, we went straight out to the coast and we stayed on the Oregon coast the very first night out there. And I have video. I need to post that video on my my other channel, but I have video of where my husband and my stepson both took their first dip into the Pacific, right? Pacific Ocean? Yeah, into the Pacific Ocean. And it was the middle of June and it was so windy. And they took off running way too soon because it was a lot of beach and got in the water and like literally turned right around and was running back.
Yeah.
I videoed. It was just, I wasn't getting in.
Part of the coast was it?
Let's
Remember
see.
where?
I can look it up and let you know. I'll look it up and let you know.
Was it like west of Portland or something? That's a popular part of the beach. But
let's see. I think we went through Portland. That sounds right. Like that we went through Portland on out.
that makes sense if you're going, you said you were going to Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was probably like Seaside or Cannon Beach or Astoria, something like that. That's a real popular part. You know,
It it was not a big place. It was
Yeah.
not very populated.
Hmm.
But the hotel had a nice indoor pool that we got to go swim in and stuff. So it was,
Mhm.
and it was right on the beach and, well, right on the coast. I mean, we had a bottom back hotel room that looked out onto to the water, and it was lovely. It was lovely. I can't wait to go back. I've been out there once, and then we went to Yosemite once a couple years ago, and all I want to do now is move to the West Coast until I can move out of the United States. And my stepson just moved back to the East Coast. He was stationed in San Diego, and he just got moved back to the East Coast. So I feel like my options of moving to the West Coast have just quickly gone down the drain. Because I knew my husband would go so long as Brian was still on the West Coast, he would go quickly and in a hurry as soon as he possibly could. Now I feel like it's not going to happen.
That's too bad. Well, it's pretty if you ever get out here. So,
I'm sure I will one way or another. I will. Let's see. We've got, let's see. Jason asked, do you get to write off meals in your hometown if you're outsourcing and thrifting? What the mile radius from your workplace where you can start deducting for meals. Okay, so here's how I look at that. It depends on where you are and what your circumstances are. So if you remember back when Chris and the group, and he's in what, San Francisco area, California, wherever he is, it was very congested, right? So even though he was only a couple miles from his house, it would take him an hour to get there. So if you're in that kind of a situation and you're spending all day outsourcing, then absolutely eat out and write off, take the deduction. If you are more like where I am, which I don't have a whole lot of thrift stores that are very close by. I have one that's only, like 3 miles away. And then everything else is 15 plus miles away. If I'm just going to the one that is, one store that is only like 15 miles away, then I'm not gonna take that deduction. But if I'm spending the whole day out and I'm going from one place to the other and making a circuit of it, then I don't feel like it's an issue to take the deduction. Most of the thrift stores, when I was thrifting on a regular basis, most of those stores were like 62 miles one way. So it was a no-brainer. I was taking my meals because it was either that or bring a lunch. And while I will do that, sometimes it's hard to keep up with the cooler and everything else, and then having to have to take up that extra space in the car when I wanted it for inventory, for possible inventory. So
And whenever you make your lunch, that's when you're like 5-10 minutes late to the opening of the store. So I'd rather pay for the lunch.
right. So and there were times that I didn't eat out either. So there's that too. So it's you just need to look at what your situation is, look at what your day is, ask yourself, is this something that I feel like I can. Okay, so I always talk about telling a story, right? The who, the why, the what, the where, the when, and the how. And it's all regarding making a profit in your business. So if you feel like you can legitimately create a story to explain that expense and why it's a legitimate expense in your pursuit of income, then go for it. And I am open to receiving stories if you feel like you want to run it by somebody beforehand. Send me the story. Video record it, audio record it, type it out, whatever you want to do. Send me the story. I will let you know what my thoughts are on your story, whether it is whether I think it's up to par or not. Max stuck in the chat GPT it. That's a really good point. So Max, give ChatGPT an assignment for creating a story based on why you want a specific tax exemption, and see what it says and let me know, because I would be really interested in seeing. I'm not going to try it, but I would be very interested in seeing what it comes up with. Bo, if you are still here and watching, thank you for coming and being here. I appreciate you.
I think it was you that said it, but if not, just let me know. But I think you said that is either the most reason or the thing that they look for most in taxes is like overuse of the food thing. Was that you?
A lot of people say that. You have to look at like, what's the percentage? Is the biggest expense you have your food? Because, and I mean the gross before you get the 50% off. Is that your biggest expense? Because if that's your biggest expense, then yeah, you're probably not doing something right. You're probably taking something that you shouldn't be taking, because your biggest expense should be very small compared to everything else that you got going on in your business. Does that make sense?
I think that's more along the lines of what you said the first time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to discourage somebody from taking a legitimate expense. That's my point. And I feel like a lot of accountants, they can be so scared of the IRS that they try and talk people out of taking a legitimate expense. And I think that that's incorrect. I don't think that anybody should do that. That's why I say, if you can create a story to why it's legitimate for you, because just because it's legitimate for you doesn't make it legitimate for me. We can be running the exact same business, doing almost the same. We could even be selling the same items. Maybe we live next door to each other. So we've got the same areas, the same items, this almost exactly the same. And it still would not mean that just because it's legitimate for you makes it legitimate for me. So you have to be the one to create the story on why it's a legitimate expense for you. Anything that's in not a black and white, anything that's maybe shades of gray. This has been a pretty good, I'm super happy about everybody that's come on in the Zoom, and we still have a few people watching on YouTube. We had a couple of people show up on Facebook. So I really appreciate all of you coming. It is 10 minutes after 1. So if anybody that is wanting to get to Michelle's call in the group, you're late. And you know, I mean, I've got some work I got to do too. So if we have any other questions, I'm happy to answer those real quick. I hope everyone that came got their bookkeeping done, or is at least really close to being done for all of July. And next week, so tomorrow I will be in the group for an hour. And then next week, next Tuesday, I will have the call with Renee for 1 hour right here, same bat time, same bat channel. And then right after that call, I will move right into the office hours for the week next Tuesday here, right here. So if anybody has any questions next week, it will be on Tuesday, not Wednesday. So we'll just do like 2 hours next Tuesday here, and then I'll be back the following week. So all good.
How do you send
Everything will go back
reminders?
to normal the following week.
How do you send reminders for stuff like that?
How
Through
do you what?
YouTube or email? How do you send reminders when you like switch the times and dates? Like how we keep up if we happen to miss the show? Like if I miss today, how would I know next week?
I will be making posts. I'm probably gonna. I'm trying to hire this one woman to do my social media stuff. At least help me with it. But she runs a group and has a bunch of people too. So thanks, Dawn. So I'm hoping that we can get together really soon and get that taken care of. But I'm going to be posting about it. I won't be posting about my calls in the group anymore. But I will be trying to post some things in the group, some tips and tricks and things like that, just to, you know, remind people that I'm here to help if needed.
And one more thing, that call from yesterday, I have plenty of questions. I can put them in the comments of that call, right?
You can put them in the comments of the call, or you can reach out to me directly.
Okay. Because yeah, I came in like halfway through, so I want to ask before I rewatched it. And then when I rewatched it, I was still in the live thing, so I couldn't comment. So yeah, I got some good stuff. That was a good one. I like that one.
Okay, great. Yeah, let me know. I mean, I think it would be an opportunity for you as well. So, you know, once this call turns off, you know, feel free to reach out or stick around in the Zoom and we can chat about it. Mandy, if you are still listening, I have answers for you. So I was trying to, I kept trying to go into Facebook and find you because I don't have you in my messages. So I kept trying to go into Facebook and find you from the group, and I kept getting sidetracked. That's ADHD for you. So reach out to me because I want to give you those answers. And I don't want to just, you know, put your stuff out there any more than it already is. So, alrighty. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I'm gonna call this one for today. And I appreciate everyone for being here. I appreciate all the questions and all your support. And I look forward to seeing everyone next Tuesday at noon for the live with Renee and me, and next Tuesday right after that for the office hours for the week. So you can ask any questions about taxes, bookkeeping, the workbook, whatever. And I will be here then. Thanks. Have a great day.